Hi, everyone. We are officially live. Let me know if the music's too loud. I can always turn it down, you know, or if it's too quiet, same thing. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Hope you all are having a good weekend so far. I know I am. Having a great one. Enjoying some lovely weather I'm having over here and, you know, having a nice cup of coffee and gonna do a live stream. It's fantastic. So yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, by the way, thank you guys for your compliments. I'm thrilled that you guys enjoy my work I do on the animation. I really like it. Okay, yeah, so for those who don't know what's going on here, if anyone's just tuning in because I saw that there was some Invader Zim fan art live stream or whatever, what's happening is I'm in charge of a fan film project called Invader Zim the Doom movie. And while I'm in charge of it, it's been going on forever. Like, this was supposed to be a finale for the show. It's been going on since before the comics were even a thing. Like 2013, I think, was when I started this project, and I'm still working on it. All the audio's been recorded. It's just time for me to mix the audio and storyboard and animate. But here's the thing. I'm going to put that on hold because my wife, and you'll find her channel, Navi D, 2 different words, Navi space, then the letter D. Or Navi Dooms. I think it's Navi D on YouTube. Yeah, let me find that. Anyways, she's working on an adaptation of the unfinished episode It Feeds on Noodles, which is kind of funny. I kind of enjoy... Okay, yeah, it's Navi D. Navi space D. N-O-V-I space D. Here, I'll put her channel in the comments right now in the chat. There's the channel name. Anyways, so she's working on an adaptation of the unfinished Invader Zim episode It Feeds on Noodles, where Zim gets turned into a noodle-devouring vampire. She's basing it off of a fan fiction that took that idea, that unfinished episode, and made a fan fiction out of it. Now she's taking that fan fiction, she got permission from the author, and she's turning it into a short animated episode, you know? It's gonna be fun. I'm in charge of animation. The audio's pretty much been recorded with a few little extras still needing to be done here or there. And yeah, when I do live streams lately, all I've been doing is sitting down and showing you the animation process. And now I'm back after a bit of a week away. My gosh, you guys are really laying it on thick. Shucks, you're gonna make me blush. I'm glad you guys enjoy my live streams. I enjoy doing them. Yeah, I really do. Hey, so yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. Glad you find my live streams helpful, you know, I really do. Yeah, it's great. No, I was gonna say, so, I'm gonna show you now what we've done so far on the animation process. That's what I always open up the live streams with, so let me get that prepped. And yeah, I'll show you what I've done so far, it'll be cool.
Come on, guys, you promised! You remember? I did your chores for a week and let you pick the restaurant twice! We agreed you let me pick this time. Besides, it's not my fault Bloaties is temporarily closed. I'm not the one who called the health department.
I know you didn't. That's why you're still breathing. But if I ever find out who did, they are going to pay.
And I'm paying, so I should pick the restaurant.
You found money in one of Dad's coat pockets in the closet.
A coat he hasn't used in months. Besides, if I didn't, we'd still be fighting over that one orange in the fridge. I can't believe Dad forgot to get groceries again this month.
I can. Fine. I guess it's better than nothing.
This looks like a pretty good place. A little weird looking, though.
You think everything is weird.
Wasn't this place smaller on the outside?
Good evening. How would you like to try our succulent special? Everything delight. It has everything in it. Okay. Splendid. One of everything delight.
Tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
Okay, maybe that's a little weird.
Thank you! Was that so hard to admit?
Don't let it go to your head. Just pay the man.
Oh no, this order is a free. On the house, special one-day promotion. Thank you, come again.
Cool. Free food. Let's go home.
And yeah, there we go. That's what I've done so far, and we're just gonna keep on going through the script as we animate. Let me make sure my phone's on silent here so it doesn't interrupt. There we go. And one sip of coffee later, and I'll begin. Yeah, yeah, I remember that was funny. Anyway, so here we are in the. Let me just play this shot so far. Gaz and Dib just walking down the street, and we zoom out to show that Dib's struggling with the weight of the bag. And that's where we're at right now. And I'm just gonna finish working on the environment. Let me show you when I render it. You see it adds the yellow sort of stains blend in there and make everything look real grimy and gross, which is, of course, what Invader Zim is known for. So, yeah, we're gonna hop right in there. The orange part was fun. Yeah, I thought the orange part was hilarious. I was glad Lisa had that, or, well, the author, the original fanfic author wrote that in. That was a funny joke to have visually added in there. Let's see here. Grime. Here we go. And grime time. It's not prime time, it's grime time. Alright. Let me just start priming it up a bit. Where could some be? We could have some of these bricks here. Like right here. To frame it in. Alright. Let's do it. This episode, I like everyone's voice in the cartoon. Good, I'm glad you like the voice acting. Yeah, of course, you're never gonna get perfect replicants of the replications of the characters. That's impossible. But I think she got a decent cast for what we're working with, honestly. You're gonna really like some of the stuff that we do in this episode, in this adaptation. It's really hilarious. Just swoosh this in there and fill her in. And now we do this and add that here. Add these dots in. Dribble it downwards like that. I gotta have the grime, of course. Good. Okay. Have some on the walls too. What's it look like over there? Yeah, I should do the same here. Could do like this. Like that, and paint it in. Funny, I'm glad you thought that one impression I did one time a while ago was great. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I was having fun in the moment. That was a while ago, I remember. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Add this in. this in. And come down with that. How's that looking? Nice and grimy? Let's see. Yeah, okay, now there's a blank spot up here, and then I gotta get the rest of the walls. I think it's important to just do a thorough covering, so I might wind up doing that. There. Gotta have holes in it so it looks more splatter-like. Yeah, gotta do that. Like that. Have some stuff on the outside, some goopy areas. That should be good. Yeah, here's this. And this. Cool. Alright, and we'll get rid of you and you. Yeah, that was that's rare that I actually do that sort of stuff. Normally I'm not really into doing OC stuff. I'm like hugely not a fan of it on my live stream. But that one day I felt like being a little silly, so I rolled with it. OCs and roleplay is definitely something I don't usually like. So that was a rare day, but it was funny. Kind of like Zim's voice. Zim's voice, yeah. In what? We haven't shown Zim's voice in this. Yeah, are you talking about in IZTDM? Or are you talking about like just in the show in general, like Richard Horvitz voicing Zim? Because yeah, he does a great job. Yeah, let's back out here. When this camera is over here, let me see, when does it pan over? I want to capture the transition there and see. Okay, so we start out here. Go this way, this way, this way. I have a rough idea of where all the grime is. So we don't really need to grime up anything over here because it's not even visible in the camera. All I need to worry about is this stuff over here. That's good to know. Alright, cool. That would be a good starting point. Like how I went my tallest for 3 hours. Yeah, that was Shining Cecil. He usually does Zim's voice for my wife's projects. He does it in the comic dubs and stuff. He's really good at it. He's not the voice for IZTDM, of course. That would be Steven Dusterwald. He's my guy I do for voicing Zim. Really happy with what he's done. You're gonna love it when IZTDM comes out. Yeah, the voice for Zim in this project, he had to be replaced for like personal reasons. So he won't be voicing him in this project, but he will be Shining Cecil does voice Zim in Navi's other projects, so he's really good. I like what he does with the comic dubs especially and all that jazz. My tallest for 3 hours, right? Yeah. I like that April Fool's joke. I was a huge fan of that. Pretty proud of that one, honestly. Ezra, of course, voicing Tallest Red at the end. That was fantastic. I loved every second of that. Good idea of what I have in mind for the finished product for IZTDM 2, or one of the things I'm toying around with. I want to dedicate to that. The more I think about it, the more I like that look for it. With the sketchy stuff, there's not a lot of commitment there. I don't have to get super detailed with the artwork, you know? But as far as motion and effects and stuff, that's kind of what I have here as a test run. So yeah, it's like a 50-50 thing. I'm not sure which direction I want to go just yet, but I do know I want to get the community involved somehow. That's a good way to get people excited, you know? Alright, we come down here. We'll add a grimy bit that's sort of over this way, like this. Oh, and don't forget the bottom part. There we go. This is the thing I dislike a little bit about the, So about Gaz Membrane Dib's sister? Yeah? What about her? And also, I was gonna say, this is the thing I don't like about detailing outside work, is all the details I have to do with the grime and, like, grit and stuff on, like, the city streets, because you gotta make it look disgusting. Like, it's a requirement. The way Guy's voice is saying that they will pay, yeah. Honestly, if I weren't for me, I wouldn't have the burning inspiration to mess around and see what type of Urkin or other extraterrestrial things I can create. Well, good. I'm glad. That's I'm flattered to hear that, and you should keep it up. Be creative. That's very important, to consistently hone your skills and keep being creative like that. You don't want to lose that, even as a hobby. It's good. It's good to hold on to it, because, my gosh, I don't know. It'd be kind of not that. My life wouldn't be meaningless without my art, right? Like, I have other purposes in life and stuff, but I enjoy that. I enjoy it a lot, you know, is what I'm trying to say. It's really good that I'm glad that I have that still. So never let go of that, obviously. That's kind of what I'm getting at. All that just to say, never let go of that drive and that desire to create things, even just for fun. It doesn't matter if other people like it or not, as long as you enjoy it. I mean, it only matters if other people like it. If you're trying to turn it into like a career, then people kind of have to like it so you can convince people to buy it. But outside of that, you know, have fun. The way that Gaz's voice was saying they will pay, yeah. Yeah, that's my wife voicing Gaz there. I think she does a really good job of Gaz's voice. I had her do Gaz's voice for IZTDM at the end of the day, because the other voice actresses, I had two different ones that were going to voice Gaz at different times, but I lost contact with both of them. One quit, the other just dropped off the face of the earth without replying, so I had Lisa, that's my wife's real name, but anyways, had Lisa jump in there, and it was good. I like her Gaz impression, it's pretty awesome. You can create the other Inhuman too? Cool. What do you mean by that, though? I think there might be a translation issue there. Jennifer Jones, hello! Welcome to the live stream. Night Trek was as far ahead and all, like, that's... Gotcha, okay. Pardon me in advance if I can't quite follow what you guys say in the comments. Sometimes it's harder to keep up while I'm live streaming. But I think I get the gist of it sometimes. Anyways, let's sweep that there. Might be a bit over detailed, but it's going to be dim and dark anyway, so I'll stick with it. I've already begun this. It'd be weird if some parts of it weren't hyper disgusting now, because otherwise it would stand out and we can't have that. Oh, you mean like you can make people that look like humans and monsters too? Oh, you're talking about like your drawing ability. That's neat. Yeah, there's good varieties to have. It's important to be flexible. No, thank you. Thanks. Man, does it be nice to Stanley Day? Gosh, everyone's been saying such nice things to me. I don't know what to say. Aw. You guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you guys in live streams. It's really a blast to just chat about things and hang out. I like that a lot. There. Be nice to Stanley Day every day. You guys get grief. Seriously, what the heck? Now now you see why. Don't stroke my ego too much. Gosh, I can only. It's already too big. It can't. Don't let it get bigger. Get this added in there. I love hanging out with you guys so much. Seriously, you make my day. That's a fact. Cheers to that. So how is, you guys didn't tell me quite, how is everyone's weekend going? I hope it's good. I hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Technically, I just got off my weekend. I don't really have a full-time job right now, but I follow the work pattern my wife has, and she gets Friday and Thursday off. She works a little bit of an odd week, so technically it's the start of the week for her. But it's cool because then I get to hang out with you guys on Saturdays and use time to do this. That's fine. Nice to Stanley who makes Invader Zim music. I love doing Invader Zim music. Go. Splotch that in. Splotch that in. And what else? What's back out here? Almost grimed up the way I like it. I just need to get this area covered in, which I can do right now. Good. Finally got the commitment for our house we've been looking for. By the time September rolls around, should have your new house. Hey! Nice. Moving time. Sweet. Congratulations on that. That's exciting stuff. That is pretty cool. Not a lot I can ask about that, of course. I don't want to ask too for personal details, but it's nice that you're moving. What brought about the move, if you don't mind me asking? If that's not too personal, what made you guys have to move, or want to move, rather? Here we go. Okay, so next, you know what? This window frame is too untouched. That's a problem. Middle slot, I will cut out the line so that it's slightly thinner versus thicker in some places. That'll give it a real depth sort of effect. Like seeing the drawings of the background. Yeah. I love doing background detail work. It's great. Apartment not in the best shape. We lost electric for almost 4 weeks. Light in the bathroom can't be turned off because the switch. Had to replace the toilet. And the floor is somehow falling up. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare. Good thing you're finally moving. Ugh. Goodness. Yikes. Oh, that's all I can say about that is yikes. Gosh, I can't blame you guys for moving. Holy cow. Like, goodness gracious. I don't want to belabor the point, but wow. Honestly. Sorry to hear that, guys. So yeah, that is very good news that you finally got a place that you can move to. And you won't have to pay rent anymore, right? Mortgage versus rent. At least one you'll actually, eventually stop having to pay. So I fully understand there. That's great. Oh, I shouldn't have cut those two. Whoops. Undo. Undo. Okay. And now, select that. That. Now what I'm doing here is I'm cutting and deleting the thicker outline that I created, which is the same color as the rest of the grind, but I'm deleting it on some parts, for those of you who can't quite tell, so that it shows up through, and it looks like it looks like the rivets are actually making the grime be at different levels. That gives it a good sense of depth and detailing. Toon Boom, man, I love Toon Boom Harmony, by the way. That's the program I'm using. Can't stress enough how much I dig it. If you're an animator and you're looking for a professional grade software to use, I would recommend this one. Now, it is expensive. I'm not going to deny that. It can be expensive. I actually got it on sale because it was Christmas time a few years ago. That's why I have it. But yeah. Keep your eyes out. This is a good one. It's a good program. And that's enough of me gushing about it as if I were sponsored. I wish I was sponsored by Toon Boom Harmony. That would be awesome, but I'm not. Alas, I am not. There we go. Not sponsored by anyone. And sweet. That's looking good. Alright. Now I need to go into the ground here. I'll do a little more here. I'll make it smaller though. I won't make it as prominent. The number one rule I think with Invader Zim backgrounds, it has to look like absolutely heinous. It has to look very crummy and like not a fun place to live, especially for like the city streets and stuff. If you can do that, you got it pretty much. You pretty much got the right idea. Isn't too far either. Literally just the next town over. Perfect. Good thing because while they were working on my current school, they found asbestos with the addition of a lot of mold in the cafeteria. Wow, okay, gosh. Really not good, huh? Now, so Storm Kitty, when you say so do I actually don't know what you're responding to because there's a slight lag between between when I see the chat and when you type it. It doesn't show up instantaneously, so if I have to ask once in a while, that's why. So do you what? What was that in response to? Because, like, again, I don't actually quite know what some people say are talking about sometimes because of the lag between me and you. It takes, like, an extra, like, half minute or so for me to see your messages. Camera, here we go. How's this looking? Oh, nice and grimy. I love it. Okay, I think that's good. I'll call that a good amount of splatter. Heck yeah. Okay, cool. Next up on the list, let's go down to BG. Let's create a new layer. We're going to call it, well, let's duplicate it. I'm going to call this one BG Shadow Mask. Let's go to the node view. You got to make sure this is properly set up. Drawing view. Okay, here is our background. Color, let's take this, cut it, delete it, paste it. Okay, I'm gonna use this to draw in the shadows. But you know what? I kind of want to get rid of all those dots because I think it's kind of pointless to have all that detailing. So let me just select the stuff that I do want to keep as far as line art goes. And then the rest of it I will just ignore. I'll keep the brick lines. It's just the dots. I don't really want to draw in all those dots. I don't want the shadows to be affected by those is what I'm getting at, because I feel like it'd be too much extra work for not enough payoff. You gotta budget that when you're animating. You gotta determine how much is necessary versus how much isn't. Otherwise you run into time constraint issues and computer resource management issues, because your computer can only deal with so much, you know? Even the best computer can only deal with a certain amount. Everything has its limit. Good thing. Oh, you love to see the episodes being made. Sweet. Yeah. This is fun. I love doing this stuff. It's great. And yeah, I agree with you. And then you say, good thing I'll be maneuvered over to the next towns over school, which doesn't have the 3 floors like my current school, but it's nice. That's good. And in fact, not having 3 floors, that's actually could be a good thing, because it might mean you have to walk less, you know? Walk less to get into certain classes and stuff. I remember my high school, everything was on 1 floor. Then again, it wasn't a big town. It was like 3,000 people is all, so, you know. Not that crazy. There we go. Now we get rid of the dots. Paste it. This will be a lot easier to work with. That's why I did that. Flatten it, then save it. Alright, so here we got, I'll just pick anything. Drag it up here. I'll call this one not shadow. I meant to say mask effect. I'll make it red just so that stands out. Now I know anything I'm coloring in red is what I'm going to use to tell where the shadows are going to go. Downside to the house, like there is with a few houses out there. All right, what is the issue with it? What's the major malfunction with the house? So first of all, I think what I want actually is to have a spotlight right here, a street light. Actually, no, I can do it this way. Yeah, I'll do this. I use the circle tool and fill in a street light effect. That's what they do a lot in Invader Zim, so I'll stick true to the style. Cool. And then I'll use this circle tool to do like this right here. Oops, wrong. That's inverted. It needs to be on the outside. We're doing this so that it looks like the sidewalk catches part of the light and blocks it. So the drawback is neighbor has a few mean dogs. Not even a football busted him. With not even a football busted thin wire fence, meaning they could come over and potentially attack me, my little Rose, or our dog. Trying to find where our property is so we can put a proper fence. That's a good call. Hopefully the neighbor dogs are just all bark and no bite. You hope for that, at least. But, you know, it's a good idea to be better safe than sorry, of course. I know my dog back home with my old house, he's still there. I mean, when I was living with my family, before I moved in with my wife, my dog in my old house, he's a meanie head. He's all bark and no bite, but man, you wouldn't know it judging by how much he snarls and stuff. He can be mean, so he scares people. Strangers at least. He's nice to us because we're his family, but our dog is very protective. Switch along the base there, and along the top, we'll have it swing outwards like that. There, there, and there. That's what my stepmom and dad hope. Our dog is a Jack Terrier and Chihuahua mix. He tries to act all big barking, but in reality he's scared of his own shadow. Oh, one of those yappers, you know? One of those little yappy sort of dogs. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, some dogs bite off more than they can chew when it comes to choosing their battles. Another trick here is you trace the outline of something in shadow so that it looks like it has depth and goes downwards. Like what I'm doing here with the sidewalk. This indicates an indentation in the ground, and then same with the light on the opposite ends. And then at a glance, it gives the illusion of depth. Gentle little guy though, energetic and playful, gotta give him credit there. That's fun. That's fun. I like that. Trash can time. Gonna offset the shadow on the lettering to indicate that it's like a decal put on it, like stickers or something. I don't know why it's necessary. I just thought it looked cool. Not a lot there as far as actual thought put into that. That's just an impulsive thing I decided to do just now. That'll look good. And then the bottom, keeping in mind that the street light is straight up above. I'll fill it in right here. And cut that. There we go. And the only thing left is a slight shadow around the base where we see the trash can would cast a shadow from being underneath the spotlight, the street light. There we go. There. That looks good. That'll be good casting for the shadow there. And now the window, let me add some detailing here. And that's another good rule of thumb for like doing any artwork at all. This applies to everything, a lot of things in life actually, but artwork too. Start with the bigger stuff and work down to the smaller stuff. Don't do the details first. You will regret it if you do that, trust me. Here's a present to my stepdad, mom from her kids on Mother's Day. Oh, he loves to be pet and gets used to you after some time. That's sweet. Man, I am a huge dog person. I love dogs. They're 2 thumbs up from me. I'm a dog person. Guilty. Let's drop this down to 25 point, and I'm just gonna draw straight lines. No, actually, less than 25. Let's draw it to 5 point. 5 is too little. How about 11? 11? There we go. So I'm just gonna draw straight lines out to sort of give the impression of indentations along there. And that'll really sell the effect, the illusion, you know. Same with here. I'm making them sideways though, because they gradually get more and more light cast on them because of the spotlight being directly above, and they're sort of at a slant to that. So that's the logic there behind having the shadows on the side of the rivets here be angled like that. Like both. Personally, I lean a little more to cats because they remind me of myself. Plus, I've been surrounded by cats here my entire life. I mean, fair enough. Like, you would get used to cats really quick, right? And then that would be what you're naturally, you know, adjusted to. So that makes sense to me. Yeah. My friend in high school, he had a cat at his house. It was real friendly. I didn't interact with it much though, but it was friendly, you know. One other thing I could do here, by the way, let me set line art as a protected color. That way I don't accidentally erase it when I switch over to my eraser here. Drop it down to 11. Cool. And now what I'm going to do is go in and slightly erase the tops of the rivets. Like that. And this, when you have slight shadows riding along the outline in a bright area, and then slight pieces of light riding along the outline in a dark area. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That results in giving another layer to depth, a layer of depth and stuff to your drawing. I think it's a good idea to do that. So, pro tip, if you're interested, that's good. That's a good thing to do. And I know if you study the Invader Zim backgrounds, not so much Enter the Florpus, they don't really do that. They don't really go that detailed with the backgrounds, which is a darn shame, because that was one of the best parts of the show, in my opinion, was how gorgeous the background art was. But you do like that, it'll add a lot of depth to it. So now to go in here. First, I'm gonna erase the bits of the shadows where the cracks are, where there should be light catching it, and then I'm gonna go in and add shadows. Oops. Gonna add shadows to the underside of the cracks and stuff. So let me do that real quick. That's not good. Hang on. I'll bump up its size too. I'll make it 15 points instead of 12 point. There we go. That's nice. And then right here. See, okay, so right here. Let's watch this. So we have this crack right here that goes down, right? And the crack runs down, the light's casting down, but where's the source of the light coming from? Well, the source of the light, if you pay attention to the general idea here, we would imagine that the street light would be somewhere up here, roughly, above there. So, with that in mind, between these two cracks, which face, I'm gonna have to get a visual out here. So picture the, oh, it's still on eraser mode. Picture the crack like this if it were a 3D object. One half like this, and then if I were to separate it a bit, the other half would be like this, and like this is the part we cut open. Now, since the light is over here, right, and coming down like this, what side of the crack, what face of the crack would be catching light? Would it be this part, or would it be this part that's hidden away from the camera right now? Well, it would be this one that's hidden away from the camera because it's actually physically facing the light, versus because this other one, this right here, is actually facing away from it. So let me delete that. And all that, I learned that, and I figure out at a glance which one's closer to the light than the other. And then I use that to determine which one I'm erasing shadows to make light hit, and which ones I'm leaving shadows in to make light touch. Like right here, bit of an arbitrary judgment because it's closer to the light source, but I feel like this side would be catching more light, so I'm gonna draw on this side of the crack. I'm gonna erase stuff and gradually make it peter out more the further down it goes because it's getting further and further from the light source. And there we go. Love huskies though. Used to live near a husky when you were little. Oh, huskies are great, man. They are adorable. The current dog in my wife's family's dog, Shadow. She's in this house we're living in now. Shadow is adorable. She's part husky. Okay, yeah. See you later, Mooney. If you don't wind up joining in the stream again, that's great. That's fine. But see ya. Thank you for joining while you did. Bye. It was great. I always enjoy when people hop on board with the stream, you know? My head is being cut off. Let me, there. Much better. I keep having to slouch over to stay in camera. And it makes my back a little sore, so I'm gonna stay sitting upright. That's much better posture anyways. But yeah, see ya, and I hope you have a good one. And come back in if you feel like, obviously. Nice catching up. Anyway, so yeah, now I'm, now see, we're coming up to a transition point here on the crack where it goes down that way. The entire time I'm erasing shadows here, I am constantly keeping my eye on, okay, which part is catching light and which part isn't. Which half, which side. Because that's very critical. So like right here, it starts out facing that way, but then towards this way it's like that. That would be more catching light, and then this side obviously because the light's over to the left. All these decisions I'm making while I'm drawing this sort of stuff. And these decisions are going on in the back of my head constantly while I'm doing this. Bye! Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. Ah! There we go. brightening up. I might thicken up the eraser. I think that'll be more efficient. Move it up to 25. Yeah, it looks like a good size. Okay, we're kind of crest this hill here. Switch over to the other side. Go on the other side, switch over again. Nice. Do the same for the sidewalk here. Oh, I went too far. Yeah. Same for the sidewalk here, as I was saying. There's that. And over here, the light is coming from the opposite side because we're on the other side of it. So this part of the sidewalk would be lit up at that angle. And over here it would be this part. Ah. And like that. Now the brickwork is going to be a little more difficult. Let me think here. I don't feel like it's necessary to shade in all of the bricks. Oh, hang on, I have to fix that. But I think it's necessary to shade in a decent portion of them to give the proper lighting effect. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just start out by doing the sides and then work my way towards doing the other pieces, and then, you know, it won't be as prominent further on down the road because there'll be less and less to shade like that. Actually, that might be it for the brickwork. I don't want it to be overshaded because it wouldn't look proper if I did that. And then I do have to mimic it on this brick because otherwise it'll look out of place. There we go. Nice, okay, that's all I was talking about. And actually, I'll just fill in this crack right here. I don't think it needs to have that sort of extreme shadow. Same with that sidewalk. There, better. Now it's all focused in. That's what I wanted. Last thing I'm going to do for this part of the shading is just create shadows now where I feel like shadows belong. That's too much. It's not enough, rather. Here we go. So now it's the opposite. Now I'm drawing in shadows wherever the sides of the little crack, wherever the crack forms, wherever it's facing away from the light. So in this case, the top half of the cracks are facing away, and the bottom half are facing upwards. This I won't make pop up too much right here because it's kind of facing straight down. It's not that visible, but then once it goes horizontal, it comes right back to being majorly visible again. There we go. And then across here, of course. Actually, we should have shading underneath the bricks because they would be casting a bit of a shadow there. Like that. Nice. That really brings it all together. And one more thing. Just to add a little extra depth, I will create a shadow running across the base of the buildings, rather. There. Oh, and as we'll fill this in. Alright, we're good. Next. Oh wait, no, we're not good. I almost forgot. I gotta draw and shade these cracks on the ground here. Nice. That's looking good. Alright, I think I'm done with the shading here. Let me save that. Let me take it all. Control-Shift-F to flatten it so that it's optimized. Oh, and I should optimize it too. That's a good point. And then go Drawing, Optimize, Optimize. This will make the drawing have the minimal amount of lag. And you want that. You don't want it to lag a lot when you're trying to animate later. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the node view. We're gonna go to our nodes down here. We're gonna bring up something called a cutter node. I'm gonna call it BG Shadow Cut, just to label it properly. We're also gonna bring up a blending node. We're gonna call it BG Shadow Blend. And for those of you who don't know what it does, it tells it how I want the colors mixed between multiple layers, whether I want them to be just solid or whether I want them to be a mix of colors or whatever. And then using the cutter node, I'm going to tell it where I want shadows to be. And then with the blend mode node, I'm going to tell it how I want those shadows to be handled. So right now it's just set to multiply. I don't think that'll be the way I want it to look, but we're going to just take a quick look and see how it turns out. Okay, see, something's wrong already because it's not doing it the way I thought it should. So, let's see, what's the issue here? Oh, it's because it's underneath the background. Right, it needs to be above it so that it's on top of it and the background receives all of this. That's right. Actually, it should be on top of the grime too, because the grime should be shaded as well. So put the grime right there. Put the BG shadow mask there with that, just for organizational purposes. And then like so. Okay, so now it's properly organized. Let's see how this looks. Oh, beautiful. Actually, that is perfect. Okay, no, that looks good. Holy cow. Let me get Dib and Gaz's rough drawings out of the picture real quick. Oh, I love that. Okay. I think that's good enough for shading, actually. I thought I would need to do more work, but honestly, the only thing I need to adjust or make different is I need to add a shimmer effect on the window, and then we're great. So honestly, I thought I would have to do more than that. But I will go in and add gradients. That is the next step, gradients, and then I'll do the shimmer thing. So actually, I could do the shimmer thing with gradients. That's what I'll do. So yeah, let's click on this piece right here, and then let's change this color so that I can later shade it using gradients. Make it the same color as the sidewalk. That's how bright it'll be when it's fully shimmery. Cool. And now time for the gradation, which we're gonna do the same. We're gonna use the same sort of principle as the other thing. Only it's gonna be a little easier. Let's just say. So we're gonna call this BG Grad Mask. Node view. So we're going to take the blending node. I'm just going to do this ahead of time. And the cutter node. I'm going to call this BG Grad Cut. And then BG Grad Blend Once again, set it to multiply. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to tell this to be the mat, meaning it's going to tell it how we want it to, meaning it's going to read this information in this layer again, and it'll decide what information is passed forward and what information is rendered invisible based on what I draw in that layer. It's very handy. It's a very handy tool. I highly recommend using it. So, set to multiply, good. Let's go to the mask, drawing mode. Cut the line art, paste it. Cool. And now I'm going to get a new one. Let's, I'm not going to protect the color. Let's get a new thing out. We're going to call this, what I like doing with my gradients, I'm going to do the same thing here. I like making 3 gradients. We're going to call this X grad. Good. I'm gonna call this one Y grad. Blue. And then we're gonna have this one called Z grad. And it's going to be, here we are. I'm gonna make it red. Now using this, I'm going to create gradients for the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Now for those of you who don't know what those are, let me explain very quickly. It's like when you have a box you measure, because we're in 3 dimensions. You know, that's the amount of dimensions of physical space real life makes up. So we have front and back dimensions. Those are the x-axis. Or well, no, it depends on how you label it. So let me redo it. You have the left and right dimensions, which are the x-axis. The up and down dimensions, which are the y-axis, and the front and back dimensions, which are the z-axis. And so by color coding the gradients this way, I can have a good way of organizing and keeping track of how I'm having each axis affected by the gradients. And yeah, actually, we're going to call this, we're going to duplicate these again and make a spherical version of them. So we're going to call it X grad circle, Y grad circle, and then Z grad circle. Radial, radial, radial. And then I'm also going to duplicate it one more time. This way it'll be X grad circle 0, X grad, excuse me, Y grad circle 0, and Z grad circle 0. So with these 3, I'm gonna invert them. We're just gonna basically swap around how that circle is formed, because you could have a circle where the outside is transparent and the inside is solid, or you could have one where the inside is transparent and the outside is solid. So now I have all my bases covered for any possible effect that I want to do with these gradients. And I'll actually take it now and see what I want to do. So first thing, I think X gradient, X is the horizontal axis. Let's just take this, cut it, delete it, paste it. This will be the easiest because it's just supposed to be big swatches of color on the gradients. It's not supposed to be anything major for me to do. So we're gonna take all these and we're gonna make an inverted circle pattern. There we go. I'm gonna go over here to this tool which will allow me to adjust the gradients on everything, and since I've selected all the stuff that has this gradient, it should be easy to just drag it, yeah, and do this, exactly. now it's me telling it that I want it to start out brighter in some spots and darker in others. And the overall effect these gradients will have would be one of making it more, it gives it more believability and depth to the drawing, basically. So Z-grad, that'll be stuff like this. And this. Okay, I'll start out with those. So these, I'm gonna do like that. And these, I'm actually gonna replace with the other gradient. I'll make it this one right here. Very good. And then I'll squash them into their proper place, like so. There, now we have proper gradation. Next I will do it with the what do I want to do here? I'll do the trash can next. So for that one I will use Y gradient just to set it apart. Not always have to be perfect gradations. And there, how are they going to stop Zim? You will have to watch the episode to find out, or read the fanfic. I believe it's by someone called Red Witch on fanfiction.net. But it'd be much funner to watch the thing when it's done, though, right? Anyways, so that's spoilers. Anyways, so I'm not gonna say per se how they stop Zim in this. They just do, and it's funny. But of course it's funny. You knew it'd be funny. It's Invader Zim. Cool on that. Next up, we'll need this gradient. Highlight everything that has to do with that, minus that, and that, and that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. My bad. Anyways, now let's adjust the gradient on this. Once again, the light source is right about here, so the center of this transparent circle will be like that. And then everything would, of course, radiate outwards from there. Like so. Hey, Epsilon, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a good one. I know I am. Just drawing some Invader Zim stuff, as per usual. Alright, there's that. Doing pretty good, yeah? Ah, good, good, good. Always like to hear that. Been a while. I went on vacation, so, you know. It is what it is. That's why last week I got back from my vacation last week and I just didn't feel like doing the live stream on Saturday, even though it had been a few days. I just wasn't feeling it, so rather than try and force something that wouldn't be that fun, I just decided I'd put it off till the next week. I should group this, actually. There we go. Oh, and here too. Group. And then what else? Is there another patch of... Yeah, it's those two over there. Like that. Okay. So those are all part of one gradient. And I'll adjust them separately. And this is a fun trick to give more depth to the drawing. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so yeah, now I got that. And then last of all, I'll work on the window here. So I managed to record the new audio for a short, so we've been fiddling away at some other projects. Fair enough. Fair enough. And how are those other projects going then? I should ask. Varying levels of success at them. That sounds alright. That sounds about right, you know? You win some, you lose some. What are they? You know? Trying to write my own Invader Zim sometimes, but I haven't gotten very far at that. Aw, fair enough. Yeah, that does take a lot of dedication to do a fanfic or an, you know, anything like that even. Definitely takes a lot of patience, perseverance, and dedication, so I can't blame you there for not getting very far, especially if you want to think it through and make it really good, you know? Completely get that. Alright, and now let's see how this looks with gradients. Nice, okay. So that's looking just how I pictured it and how I wanted it to look. Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Although I will darken the window a bit. I think I chose the wrong color for the window. Let me just do that. I'll darken it a bit. How would it look with the brick effect for a gradient? Better, but maybe in hindsight, you know, maybe I should just go for the jugular and just draw and make it dim windows, you know? Yeah, and then I can, yeah, that's good, that's good. That'll be fine. Sweet. Alright, I like how this is coming together. The tool I'm creating to help that is coming along great. Oh, really? You'll have to tell me about it. Write it up in the comments and stuff. But short break now, guys. I've gone this whole time without taking a break, so I'm going to do that. See you guys in just a little bit, like a 5-minute break or something like that. Not a whole long. I'll see you in 5. And we'll get back to doing all this. And Epsilon, you can tell me more about your project. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, see you guys in a bit. Where is the lobby button? There is the lobby button. Okay. back, alright. Back, guys. And here we have... What did you say here, Epsilon? Tool is essentially a way to write stories using virtual post-it notes to rough things out. Huh? You know the game Microscope? It's pretty similar to that. Let me see here. Microscope game. Images. Oh! Neat. Cool. That's a cool idea. I like that. That's a cool concept. Alright, so yeah, that'd be, I could see how that would be helpful, honestly. Or just other writing aids just not cutting it for you, as I take it. And yeah, let me just, alright. For now, I'm going to temporarily turn off all the effects so that I don't have as much lag. Now, guys. Trying to draw the real deal, so. Okay, let's close. Let's import Gaz's color palette as well as Dibs. Let's go Dib. Yep, he's in this shot. And then okay. And then palettes, import. We want Gaz's also. Okay. And we're also going to import the restaurant palette only because Dib's carrying the bag. And so we want the bag there, the environment, to have representation in the form of the bag, because it is there, and it is from that palette. Alright, cool. Time to draw Gaz. Partially that, and partially just like making your own stuff. Fair enough. There's always the fun stuff about like being creative with that. I totally understand why you would do that. Also, this isn't far enough forward. I could make this subservient to the Gaz sketch, and it would be at the right everything, the right angle and stuff. Cool. So let me just sketch in the rough. Let's do it rough first. So I'll make this 5-point line. There we go. Deliberately scribbling it up to make it so that I don't follow the line too close and that I can do my own thing. Gesture drawing. Alright, cool. Now I have this as a rough guideline. Now I can go in there. Actually, since this is rough, why don't I just take it and make it purple. There. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay. Take that, make it purple. There we go. Now I have a rough sketch to work with that's not super, that I don't have to follow work exactly, you know? Because that could be more of a crutch if I did that. That needs to be crossed over so we can do it properly. don't like how that forehead turned out. Let me fix that. Better. Go, just trying to make it as parallel as possible, give it some depth. Here's her nose. Now for Gaz's eyes. I'm gonna have to adjust the contours because it's never right the first time. You always got to go back in and do some corrections. Vasquezian lower lip that Jonan likes adding into the characters. There we go. Now we just add in this sort of anger line, thunderbolt looking scowl that she has always got going on. Perfect. Alright, there's her face properly drawn. Let's see where the body should be. So she's walking forward. Do like this. Something to that effect. And then we also need it to pop out like so. Her shirt collar, dress color, I suppose would be a better term. There we go. Let's dice it away. This spider web of lines. We just have the ones that we want. There we go. We add this in. Time for the skull necklace. One of the eyes visible. There we go. Let me show both. Okay, so is why I broke her rough art down into just gesture drawings, because it's easier to... You can have more flexibility with stuff like that, basically. There we go. Not quite right. Let me just scale it up a bit. Come on. Okay. Just a little. Like that. There we go. Now our leg's properly proportioned. Casual stride. There we go. Actually, let me hide the... Let me get rid of the color right now. There. Now just her arms are left. Which will be like this. Whenever you practice something enough and you draw it enough, it becomes second nature. And that's why you don't typically need a lot of construction line art. That's why I don't anyways for drawing Gaz, for example. Cool. Now let's color it in. Let's do the hair first. Okay. So shadow-wise, this is going to be interesting. I'll do the shadows on a separate layer for Gaz, and I'll do it for a very particular reason, which I'll get to later. Well, I can get to now. Anyways, the reason I'm going to have the shadows for Gaz on a separate layer is so I can dynamically change where they are positioned relative to the street land above. Go. Alright, so let me just see here. And let me just draw in the thicker outline now around the outside perimeter of the character. on. Oh man, I can't quite angle it. There. I was having some issues with that. It happens, of course. Here we go. Cut. What am I working on now? Hey, Skullbelly, glad you could join. I am working on a shot from It Feeds on Noodles, the fan project that, for those of you who joined and don't know, the episode that my wife, Lisa, is wanting created based on the unfinished episode of Invader Zim. In this shot, Gaz is walking down... Dib and Gaz are just walking down the road, and yeah, that's it. So right now I'm just working on the drawing of Gaz I've already made. As you can see here, I've already made the background and stuff, and if I reactivate the effect layers and deactivate Gaz and Dib for a second. There we go. Here, and then you'll see what this is what the background looks like. So yeah, I just got done with the background earlier in the stream, and now I'm switching gears and working on Dib and Gaz. And yeah, let's get back to work on that. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. So right now with Gaz, I'm just giving her a thicker outline because I think it looks cool like that. Hey, yeah, glad you like it. I really am happy with how this shot is coming together. I'm feeling really good about it. Hey, thanks, man. Glad you like it. One second, guys. Hang on. I'm about to cough. There. Sorry. Glad you didn't hear that. Anyways. There. Let me just... Actually, I usually like doing the legs a little different than that. Oh. Where did Gaz go? Oh, is this one that went hidden? That's when I was changing other things. Oh, here we are. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, I usually like doing the legs a little different. I usually like doing them like thin out at the bottom and then become thicker towards the top of them. So I think I'll follow suit with that here. I'll use some adjustment nodes later on to fix that leg, which is a little funky looking right now. First things first, though, I gotta finish the rest of the outline. Go. Nah. No. There. How's that? Much better. Good. Okay. Cut it away. I'll just redo that. There we go. And now right here, I should do that. And pull it up that way. There. All right. I think I just need to thicken up the leg a bit there. Like that. Very good. And now it looks like the character's properly lined in. Fits right in. And then I can just get rid of that sketch. And she's moving along the sidewalk just as expected. Now to rig up the shadow version. So we're gonna go drawing, Gaz. Now how do I want to do this? See, I'm gonna have to have the light sort of pass over her. Start out on one angle and then go to another. Actually, I think I will. I'll just draw two different versions of her shaded. First version and the second version, and they'll just both be different based on that. Okay, so first version will be all the way up to there. Second version will be elsewhere. Very good. Cool. Alright. Let's do this. Let's shade her in. So for the first shadow, she's going to be facing the light, and it's going to be near the front of her. So for that, it would be like this. Shadow, we'll just do like that with a hair strand for good measure. And the usual lightning symbol. Shadow underneath the nose, of course. There we go. There's the skin and hair properly shaded. Wish I could even have the hair like that. Very good. Then that can be shaded as such. Then we're gonna add in the gray shadow right here for the arm. Actually, I'll just make it all colored in for this one. That, there we go. And then the pants in the back will be like that. And up front, I'll make it like this. There. And then do the opposite for this. So where it's lit from behind, because by that point we cut to her. It's a bit of a camera cheat, but it's fine. And in this way, we don't have to draw in the actual transition of the shadow being switched across her body and going to a different location. It's all right there, which helps tremendously. that. And then white shadow right there. And then the sleeves. And her hand. Alright, that should be that taken care of. Yep. Now, if we play it back with everything in there, we see that before she walks up that way, yep, it's shaded from the front, and then once she's past the light, it's shaded from the back. Excellent, good. Dib is next. Let me just see here. Yeah, Dib will be next. So let me just grab his character. Where are we at? Yeah, I can get rid of this up here. Dib sketch, let's add a new layer. We'll call it Dib. Drag it in here. And actually, excuse me guys, before I go any further, I am just going to take a quick break here. Be right back for some more of the drawing. I'll just take a short break, and after I'm back, I'll work some more on this drawing, Dib, and wrap up the shop. So, see you guys in like 5 minutes or so. I'm going to take a quick break. back we are. Alright. So, here we are again. Time to draw Dib struggling with a heavy bag. Alright. Let's see here. First thing I want to do, I'll pull up the shot I did of the bag. Let's go to feeds on noodles, production. Scene 10B would be it. Frames. There we go. So here's my reference for what the bag looks like. I'll keep that in mind. I'll just drag it. You guys won't be able to see it, but that's okay. I'll just drag it right here, where it'll be out of your guys' way for the most part. Alright, cool. So, drawing view, we got Dib. Let's just rough in the Dib stuff we gotta do here on the color layer. So, we got him. He's angled upwards. Face angled upwards, that is. And then, this is a strong line, action line straight down there. And then his hand, his arms, form an action line there. Alright, face right there, arms like that. Oh, and then his spiny hair, of course, going back. Okay, good. We got a good point of action for this. Let's draw it for real. Okay, so now we get this. For his basic head shape. But he will be sort of strained here. His teeth are going to be gritted, of course. Like so. There we go. Nah. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I'll do it a different way. There's that. And the cheek or lower lip frame or whatever you want to call it has to be jutting out there outside of the character's face a little bit. There we go. I'll just adjust the head as I move along to make it more appropriately shaped for Dib's face. too thick of an outline there. That's better. More round. There we go. Try and convert pencils to brush strokes. There, now his eyes squinting a bit from the strain of having to lift this heavy bag. There, bit of a struggling sort of expression there. And his nose, of course. And his dib glasses that I like to draw. Okay, and then like so, we make sure that his eyes are properly struggling. Perfect. And we need his ear, of course, the dib ear. There we go. There, add that in. Perfect. There. I'll just smooth that out. There we go. View. Reset view. I could get rid of that. I think I will. I'll just make the line go straight across, actually. just reconnect that. That's better. Alright, and now I'll get rid of all the stuff that's excessive. And his mouth is too big. Gosh, that's what I was noticing. Wasn't noticing. There we go. Better, 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 better. Cool. And now we have to have him struggling a bit. Nice. And there. No, I'll leave that alone. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. Now just draw in his hair. His dib hair. I like making Dib's hair as flush with his head as possible when I'm doing these things. That way it, I don't know, it looks better. It looks better in my opinion. And there we go. Good old Dib like Dib. Haha, glad you like it. I like how it's coming together too. When you watch live streams, you fall asleep. Oh, that's fair enough. It's real relaxing, you know? I get that completely. It's good to fall. It's a handy thing to get you to nap. I fall asleep during a lot of live streams too, to be honest. Looks like he's having so much fun. Totally not sarcasm. Yeah, no, Dib is having a great time. Yeah. Can't you tell by the joyous expression on his face? Yes. He loves lugging home this randomly heavy bag. I got a basic gesture drawing. It helped me with everything, but its time is up. There. Get rid of it. Now I can focus on what I have in front of me. Here we go. There we go. Drawing his cloak, of course, his jacket. Oh, your account got restricted so you can't watch live streams? That stinks. Sorry to hear that. Not fair. There we go. Now I get to draw in the bag from the Chinese shop. That's why I have it pulled up down here. So in this little window, let me zoom in. There we go, get a nice reference. I know you guys can't quite see it, but it doesn't matter because I need to put it somewhere and I'd rather not block up your screen. Actually, I could just drag it here. There, now everyone can see what I'm trying to draw. Good, all right, so let's see here. He's sort of gripping the top of it. It'll be like this. Oh, and gotta draw in that part. There we go. Or more like that. Yeah, more like that. That'd be it. And there. There's that. line here. Perfect, I'm drawing it the way I need to. And now the bag itself. It's gonna have most of its weight centered right here. So let me draw a bit of a bulge at the bottom here. There. Cool. And now I can erase the part of his cloak that winds up falling behind it. And simplify that part. Very good. Had a tangent line there, and we can't have it. It's not good. But I fixed it. All right, and now for the noodle. All right, I can do this. So the noodle will be like T H E N O O D L E. And then my trick is to make it look Oriental or Chinese. Just scale it up a bunch and then smooth it. Oh, that was the Windows snip button. No. Smooth it. I could shrink it a little bit actually. Smooth this way. There we go. There. Now it looks more Oriental. The noodle. Scale it down. Put it on the front of the bag like that. And yeah, let's just add the stains in. They don't need to be exactly like in the other shot. I mean, I could be that particular about it, but I'm not going to be. It doesn't matter. It would be way too much work for that. And then the parts of the letters that are stained. I will just shade them in properly. Let's optimize this scene right now. Oops. Okay, that didn't work out. Forgot I gotta ungroup it. Whoopsies. Okay, let's ungroup the lettering. Group, ungroup. Flatten it. There we go. And now drawing, optimize, remove contour strokes, and then drawing, optimize, optimize. Perfect. So now we have all those. And bag texture right there. There's the bag colored flat. We'll shade it here in a second. First, I'm going to shade Dib's face. So let's go back to Dib. Skin. Here we go. Now, throughout this shot, he's constantly facing the street lamp. So I'm just gonna have that always be in keep that in mind while I'm shading Dib here. The front of his face. Go. So that for the cheek jutting out. Good. Let's not forget the shadow under the glasses, and of course the nose, since it's a physical object that juts outwards. Let's not forget the eyes either. Also the ear. Nah, not a fan of that. Forget it. I'll leave it in darkness. Technically, it might catch a bit of the light, but I'm not gonna do it because it looks weird, and you want it to be... You want it to look good, first and foremost. It has to be stylistically correct. There we go. Hey, Tion! Hello! Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good one. I'm having a fantastic weekend right now. Personally. Oh, I almost forgot. I gotta draw in Dib's t-shirt. Goodness, that would have been embarrassing. Is a smiley face guy. There we go. What are you drawing this time? I am continuing where I left off on the It Feeds on Noodles project. I'm working on Dib. He's holding this big, heavy sack as he's carrying it home. And, yeah. That's the basic shot. I'll show you guys what it looks like here in a little bit. So that half will be colored. That half will be shaded. There we go. Oh! I messed up. I was drawing on his arm. That's not it at all. Let me undo all that. Goodness, no wonder it was so skinny. This. Yeah, this is supposed to be... Okay. Goodness gracious, that's hilarious, actually. There we go. Easy to make mistakes. Okay. That's better. Okay. Cool. Now let's get his arm shaded. Yeah, arm shaded properly here. Ah! Come back to us, Dip. There we go. Black. Let's shade that up to there. Go like that. Very good. This and this. Here you go. Being a little cheap here, I should have had that drawn in properly the first time, but it's okay. I don't think anyone's really gonna notice. Now I'm gonna get rid. Honestly, I'm making a judgment call here. And I'm gonna get rid of, you know what, heck, I'll just fill it in black. That's a bit of an awkward angle. I'll just fill it in black. No one will notice. It looks better that way anyways. So there we go. And that goes there. And we have the noodle bag. Gotta finish filling that in. And then back to Dib's skin. There. And then the shaded part is there and there. And that's... Oh wait, and then the teeth. Almost forgot. There we go. There. Now that's properly shaded. I just need to shade the bag here and we'll be moving on. So let's do that. it's set to go behind it. No, no, I want it to be on top. Here. Flatten it. Okay, now let's shade on top of it. Something like that. Alright, so everything that's a stain that's shaded will be like this. Everything that's just a letter will be shaded like this. There's another stain shadow right here. And then the bag itself shaded like this. Cool. And now when I remove it, presto, it's properly shaded. Oh, and then I also have to shade that. And along the base here, I'll do that. There. Perfect. Fine. That'll do. Nice. Now I just need to, let me see how he looks compared to Gaz. He's a bit too big. I need to scale him down. Oh, no, I want Dib himself, yeah. Scale him down a little. That's about right. Good. That's what I want. And yeah, that's looking good. Let me get rid of the... Let's make sure Dib sketch doesn't show up in the timeline view. It's just there to guide Dib and Gaz across. And let's make sure the Dib visuals are dragged. Oh. All the way back to the start. We want them exposed all the way across. Feel bad for Dib. Yeah. Dib does not have it easy in life. No, he does not. Yada yada does it. Alright, there we go. I do need to outline him though. Let's go back to Dib. I do need to now go around the outside edge of Dib with a thicker brush. And do this. There we go. Add that in. Bring this back in for the end of the hair. There. Perfect. Actually, this entire gap right here could just be filled in and we wouldn't have any loss. good. It's also triangles for the chest area where the collar pops up. We need to have that thickened in too. Go. There's that, and we will swoop this in here. Follow the contours of the bag properly that time. Must be some heavy noodles. Yeah, it's never explained, you know? That's the funny part. Like, it's obviously like supernatural, haunted sort of, you know, Chinese cuisine or whatever. It turns whoever eats it into a noodle vampire. But as far as why it just weirdly weighs a lot, they never explain that. It just is, which is kind of funny, I think. Okay, there's Dib fully outlined properly. Very good. Let me just close that window there. So let's see, from this angle, how does it look when Dib enters in the shot? Good, looking good. And then how about from over here? Also good, fantastic. Sweet, all that's left for these guys is, yeah, I know, it's great, right? Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna take a short break, and then when I come back, probably about 5 minutes, maybe 10, I don't know. Not long though. When I come back, we're gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna add shadows to these two, and then I had a cool idea. I'll have Gaz's reflection actually show up in the window, which will be really nice. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be right back, guys, and then we'll wrap up the shot and call it a stream. So see you guys in just a little bit. Alright, we are back. And I am going to wrap up this shot. It'll be fantastic. So here we go. We have Dim and Gaz walking down that. And yeah, shadows and stuff. Let's just get this sorted. Going to node view, node library. Let's make a composite node. We're both Dib and Gaz. There we go. Drag and drop it up there. We're going to call this one Siblings Comp. Now then. Now we have that. Let's reference it later. First, let's duplicate the background one more time. Node view. Let's go to node view. This background is going to be special. This background is going to consist of nothing except for the reflective surfaces. In this case, just that window. So we're going to call this one BG Reflect Matte. Or we'll call it Mask. It's easier to identify that way. So we have that, and we're going to duplicate, I guess, just Gaz. Let's be real, it's only Gaz that's going to be on here. So let's take and create a new layer. We're going to call this Gaz Reflection. Add and close. Its parent is going to be Gaz. We'll drop it here. Let's take this, cut it, and then we'll paste it onto, where is it? Gaz Reflection. Right, here we go. Paste it there. Now these two are in the same exact position. We don't want that. We want it to be offset slightly. So here, I'm gonna take the Gaz Reflection. Oh boy, computer's starting to get slow. Okay, we're gonna take the Gaz Reflection, and we're gonna move it back a bit. See if I can find it. There it is. Something like that. Very good. Node view, and we're gonna tell it to only show up in the window. Matte. I'm gonna take the Gaz image. Wait, not Gaz. Take the Gaz Reflection as the image and this as the matte. Invert it. Drop it there. And I'm gonna do something else. Add some transparency to it so that it's looking like a reflection, and also a slight blur to it so that it's not so, you know, there. Okay, so now let's make sure this stays with us throughout the shot. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make it look good. Nice. See, that's good. I think actually what I can do is I'll change the blend mode also and make it blend better. I'll set its blend mode to overlay or maybe screen. Screen. Overlay. Yeah, overlay is good. And now we have Gaz's reflection in the window. We're not done yet though. Next, we're going to duplicate the siblings one more time. We're gonna create Dib Shadow and Gaz Shadow. And they are both going to be subservient to their respective characters. Let's take the Gaz one again. Copy her. And then where is Gaz shadow, paste it in, and of course make it pitch black. Perfect. And just for good measure, I'll get rid of that. And then where's Dib's shadow? Here we're gonna do the same thing with Dib's shadow. Hey, Skullbelly, welcome back. Didn't know you left. Probably for the break, right? But anyways, I'm just here adding in some final touches. This is gonna be really good. So what I'm gonna do is add in the Dib shadow and Gaz shadows and stuff. Here we are. Here's Dib fully brought in. Time to convert it all to just a shadow. After Toon Boom, thanks for a second. There we go. Flatten it. I don't like how it takes a while to load sometimes, but what can you do? Oh, it didn't even control shift that. Maybe now it'll flatten it. Yeah, it's in the process now. Okay. I gotta wait for it. Sorry about this, guys. Oh, there. Right when I say I have to wait for it, it just does it. We'll save it real quick. Drawing, optimize, flatten. And then drawing, optimize, optimize. Drawing, optimize, remove contour strokes. Cool. And then, what does that tell me about Dib? Does that mean there's something here that... Oh, that was... yep, see? Good thing I caught that. This was missing. There we go. Alright. Dib shadow. That too. I don't see anything. That must have been just a glitch. Alright, cool. So we have that colored in. The shadows, anyways. And now Dib shadow. I'm going to take its action point, its pivot point rather, and drop it and flip it down so it's like this. And then same with Gaz's shadow. Gonna do the same thing with this, like so. And then factoring out the camera motion, we're gonna have these work properly. So first things first, Dib shadow starts out like that, or ends up like that, but starts out a bit more extreme, like that. Oh, and it should also be subservient to Dib, as in underneath him and not on top of him, obviously. So both shadows should be beneath the characters. There. Anyways, so that's good. And then Gaz's shadow, I will make sure it behaves the same way, obviously. Go. So camera work time. So it starts, Gaz's shadow starts out like that too. And by the end of the scene, it's actually facing the opposite way because she's on the other side of the light. So it's gonna pull a little bit of this action. Could orient that better because it is should be more squished relative. Well, should be more skewed. Should be. Let me fix this. Okay, so Gaz shadow. Let's make it more like this and like this behind her, and then. By the time it reaches up front, it's the opposite. And then once it's in the middle here, we make it the proper length. There, because that's the middle. Nah, I don't like how these shadows are behaving, actually. I think I'll instead convert them, make them function in 3D space, rather than trying to do a 2D camera effect. I'll make them actually three-dimensional. That way, they behave properly relative to everything else. So, yeah, let's do that. Crib shadow. 3D, we're going to make it three-dimensional. Same with Gaz's shadow. Enable 3D path. Oh wait, enable 3D. That's what I meant to do. Enable 3D. There we go. Enable 3D. So now, reset their scales back to somewhat normal. And then rotate them. Like so. Same with Gaz's shadow right here. There. Now, as they walk, it should automatically start. Yeah, it should start doing that automatically. Now, based on the top view and stuff that we have, the information we have available, we should want the shadow to be twisted over that way. Oh, hang on. It's ugly. It's short. It's not what I need. Like that by the time it reaches there. But like this in the middle. And this on the side. And I'll do the same to Dib's shadow so it's not so jarring. Start it out like that. By the end it's, well, still kind of like that, but less extreme. And there we go. Perfect. Make it stretch out a bit. So the shadow positionings are looking good there. Next, let's just hop on in and do things with them. So the first thing I want to do is take the shadows and once again duplicate them one more time. We're going to, there we go, duplicate selected layers, by which I just mean the shadows. And they will all... No, you know what? I could... this is too complicated. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Let's just leave it alone. We're just going to do an effect to the shadows. Okay, so... matte, blur, and and then blending. And then we'll bring in a composite node. I call these shadows comp. Output Z, backmost output. Filter it through these onto the environment. Set blend mode to multiply. Change the color to a pretty dark purple. That's somewhat transparent. And we'll give it a slight blur. Okay. Good. Good. Now let's see how this looks. Should all come together now. Fingers crossed. Alright, this is looking good. I'll have to fix a few things, but this is looking good. Yeah, dim shadow, we'll get rid of that and that there. How's this? Better, okay, so I'll adjust the blur, but it's basically what I want. Hey, your writing tool now actually works. Sweet. When do I think I'll be done? What, with this shot? About right now, actually. I'm almost finished. Or if you mean Invader Zim, the Doom movie, that's a ways off. If you're talking about Invader Zim, the Doom movie, that's going to be a while before I'm done with that. Or when you mean, if you think, if you're meaning like when I'm going to be done with this project, that I'll be done probably a little sooner. I don't know when, but probably sooner. All right, and just like that, we have the shadows, the reflection of Gaz, Dibs struggling with the thing. Only thing I want to do now, real quick, one more thing that could make this look good. Let's take Gaz herself and Dib himself, and I'm gonna give them a little up and down motion while they're walking, just to give like a bit more of a thing. And first, let me check out what Epsilon has here with his writing tool. That he was working on to help organize story beats. Alright, here we go. Cool. Nice! Okay. So it's basically a sticky notes, color-coded sort of thing. That's cool. I dig that. Sweet. Good for organizing stories. I could see the applicability there. Anyways, back to what I was doing here. I better do this before I get sidetracked. So like, make it so that every 20 frames is a new keyframe. I think. Let me think. Maybe every 30 frames. You don't know what to say, you're just seeing? That's alright. Now, let me just give it a slight delay in all these. 33% hold time. That way it gives it a bit more of a bounce to it. And then Dib, the Dib boy. Let's apply the same transformation. Just offset slightly. How does this look? I think it's too slow, actually. Gosh, in hindsight, that is too slow. Maybe I should have done it every 20 frames. Oh well, I can fix that. Hindsight is 2020 after all. Hindsight is last year. There. How does this look? Better. Nice. Okay. Looking good that way. And let's take the dib shadow. Let's do some slight adjustments to it. It needs to actually... Let me adjust this. The point of reference needs to be his point of contact. It needs to be higher. Is that going to affect rendering? Yes, it is. It's going to cover his back. We don't want that. Yeah, I could do this. We're going to go to the cutter. Take the shadows before we, after we blur them and everything. We're going to make sure that it doesn't show up wherever the siblings are. That'll just solve that problem. There. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Yes. All right, guys. We are officially done with the shot. So, real quick, last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on break one last time while I render this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. If it does, I'll come back and explain what's going on and we'll wrap up the live stream. But hopefully it doesn't take too long and cause too much interference. Every time I render, it does interfere with the live stream and it increases lag. But since we're at the end of the live stream, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal anyways. So yeah, give me a second. I will be right back. There. Alright, and we are back. I'll give the stream a second to catch up and make sure it's okay here. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. I just previewed it. There are a few things I do want to change though. One thing, it all involves the shadows. Here, let me fast forward over here. So you see when Gaz's shadow is going across the screen, it sort of extends too far and it doesn't multiply properly. Not sure what that's about. I might have to set limits on the shadows on where they can and can't appear just to make it more natural. But that's no big deal. That'll be a quick fix. So yeah, and I'll have to make sure Dib's shadow is consistent with hers. But yeah, other than that, it's great. So here we go. Let's preview it. I love how it turned out. All right, cool. So let me fix those shadow things by giving them constraints. First of all, Dib's shadow. I do want to extend it outwards, like so. I actually do. The reason I want to do that is so that matches Gaz's shadow here. I'll just mess with it a little bit. There. Now the two shadows match more closely. And I'm going to create limits. So we're going to add in a new thing. We're going to call it VG Shadow Masker. Add and close. Let's make sure this is nested underneath the background itself. And since for the siblings composite we're telling the shadows where not to go anyways, we'll do the same thing here. BG Shadow Masker. Bring it here. Let's go to the background. Where do I want the shadows to not show up? Well, I want them to not show up right here. So actually, let's go to gradients, the gradient layer. BG Grad Mask, here we go. And I want the shadows to not show up along this rim, which should be an easy fix. Go. And now we're telling the shadows where they can and can't show up. Good, it cuts them off right there. And then one more thing I will do, just to be sure that this is looking proper. I go to BG Shadow Masker again. Where is it? Right here. Let's give it a good color here. Let's give it the sidewalk color once again. And then we're going to take it, make it visible, and multiply it so that the sidewalk on the edge there is a little darker than everything around it. Set to multiply. BG Shadow Mask, bring that in. Drop it right there. Let's see. Nice! Okay, so that's what I want. Oh, why did that bring that back, though? That shouldn't have happened. Oh, wait, because I moved it away. Duh. Okay. There. Anyways, now. Okay, cool. I think it needs to be a little darker though. Let's drag it down further. Nah, that's looking good. It's just the color of the map itself that I need to fix now. There. Okay, now it's color matched properly. Sweet. So we have the shadows properly colored, even if they're subtle. We have everything matching it, and I think it looks fantastic. Thank you, Epsilon. I agree. It looks good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So, there's the full story. Thank you guys so much for joining me in. This was a fantastic live stream. I had a ton of fun. This was a blast. Make sure you guys check back next week. I will be doing another live stream on Saturday. Might do it on my other channel, Caffeinated Dragonware, or I might not. If I do, I'll give you guys proper notice. But stay tuned for that. It's always fun doing more live stream stuff. Anyways, you guys take care. I will see you next week. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, everybody.